Forecast. I'm Joseph, the host of the UFC Forecast, and I'm back for the early predictions and betting breakdown for UFC Noche. It's going down at the T-Mobile Arena, and we got a title fight: Alexa Grasso and Valentina Shevchenko, the rematch. But before we get into UFC Noche, let's go over our picks from UFC 293. I went 9-12, and Israel Adesanya, he hurt a lot of people's parlays. I don't think Izzy fought to his full capabilities. He obviously thought it was going to be an easy fight, and it certainly wasn't. No takedowns for Sean at all. He never went for any takedowns, nothing like that. Like, just beat him in the striking department for 5 fucking rounds. It was probably 4-1 Strickland on the scorecards. That's an embarrassing loss for Israel Adesanya. I'm not sure what the future's going to hold for him. There was a lot of stuff going on about him and dogs and obviously the cartoon, porn addiction, stuff like that. It's just a bunch of talk. Could be true, but we're not going to get into that. Let's talk about the positives from UFC 293. My lock of the week, it was plus money. Now I'm 3 in a row, Gabriel Miranda, and I bet him in round 1 too, and he came out there super aggressive, took Shane Young down easily, and submitted him in the very first round. That was an easy win, lock of the week performance, 100%, and I got him at plus money, 240, and then he dropped to 190. It was a coin flip right before the fight. I had people telling me, I can't get it at plus money, I can't get it at plus money. Well, you know, you should have joined Discord. I post my locks out there early and my dogs out there early. So I advise everyone to jump in Discord right now. We also hit 500 subscribers. I'm giving away $500, and we have a giveaway bot set up right now. And the giveaway bot closes at 5:30 Eastern time on Saturday in Discord just before the fights. And all what you got to do is go to the giveaway section. I'll pull up what it looks like right now, and just hit that little party emoji, and you're entered. So one forecaster is going to win $500 in Discord. Jump in Discord. We have a bunch of great forecasters that are active, giving some of their picks, predictions, and parlays as well. So I expect to see some of you guys in there and try to win that 500. There's only 17 people entered right now. So out of 17 people, one of them is going to win 500 unless some of you guys jump in Discord and enter that giveaway bot. And also stay active too in Discord. Great community going. And let's keep going with UFC 293, the positives. We'll make this quick because I just talked for so long. A couple shoey bets. I won 2 of them with Alexander Volkov and Tyson Pedro. Both of them got the job done for me. Yee. But my underdog of the week, I did a shoey bet with him, with my buddy Caesar in the Discord. So I'm going to pull up that video. I hope you guys enjoy it. Well, congrats to Caesar. He won the shoey bet against me. His lock of the week, Kevin Juice, he looked pretty good in round 1, got that submission, but fuck.
Oh, that's a fresh one.
Much to say. That's a lot of foam. Oh my god. That's a rough way to start the night, boys. Boy. Underdog of the week didn't look good. Hopefully the lock looks good. Oh, fuck. Congrats, Caesar, you motherfucker. Holy fuck, it's just foaming. Look how much foam's in that, man.
You didn't pour it good, yeah. What the fuck?
Oh my god. There's a bunch of hair in that. So shout out to Caesar on that one. He definitely deserved that shoey win. Crosby didn't look too great, and Giuseppe got the job done. Round 1 by submission. That was an impressive performance, and I really slept on him. It was a pretty good price. So sorry about that. My underdogs, could be probably a fade of the week for you guys right now until I start hitting a couple. But my lock of the weeks are good, and 2 out of the last 3 were underdogs. And this week I'm looking to lock in another underdog. But this week on the prediction show, I am not giving out my lock of the week or dog of the week. I want everybody to jump in Discord so you can get access to my lock and dog. And to join that giveaway bot. There's only 17 entries. That's insane. I hope more people join that because I have 500 subscribers and more people deserve a chance to win. So jump in Discord. $500. One person's going to win. And the giveaway bot closes at 5:30 Eastern time Saturday before the fights. Get in Discord. Seriously, get in fucking Discord. And the last thing to mention about UFC 293 is me doing a pants beer. I said I'd do a pants beer if Carlos Ulberg didn't get the round 1 KO, and if Adesanya didn't get the KO. And clearly that didn't happen. You guys seen the fights, I'm assuming. You see my picks here. Adesanya lost. For fuck's sakes. Here it is. Hope you enjoy it. Well, I said I was going to do a pants beer, and I'm going to do it. Carlos Ulberg round 1 didn't hit. Israel Adesanya by KO didn't hit. He couldn't even get the fucking win. So, cheers. I'm going to have one little sip first. We're not going to waste the whole beer. That'd be alcohol abuse. We'd hate to do that, right? But this is what happens when you give out bets and they're shit. And you're super overconfident, because last week the picks were good. And this week, just a little bit overconfident on the method of victories. Picks were still good, but here we go. Wow. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Get her in there. Yeah. Yeah, that was alcohol abuse. I'm just going to enjoy a beer here on the show. I advise you guys to do the same. I'm feeling pretty good about my picks. So UFC Noche should be a pretty good time. So I advise you guys right now, before we get going, crack one, spark one, sit back, relax, and enjoy if you don't drink or smoke. Let's just fucking crush these picks here. And I know the last couple weeks, I was picking the Paris fighters, I was picking the Australian fighters, but now, this is a card where I'm going to change things up a bit. I'm not so high on all these Mexican fighters. I think there's a couple live underdogs as well, too, so let's get it going with the early predictions. And let's head kick it off with the prelim opener, Josefine, Knutsson, and Marnic, Mann. Marnic, Mann coming here short notice. Josefine Knutsson was on the Dana White Contender Series. She didn't get the contract. Now she's getting a UFC fight. She was stepping in short notice against Jasmine Lucindo, who's a pretty good prospect. But Josefine, her game plan is a Muay Thai striker. She's very good in the clinch. She has good high kicks. And in the Dana White Contender Series, she probably should have got the contract. She had lots of control time. She looked good on the feet. She won a 30-27 unanimous decision. That was a clean win for her. And Marnic, Mann was also on the Dana White Contender Series a couple of years ago, where she got head kicked, knocked out in round 2 against Bruna Brazil. She's not the best striker. She's very hittable, but her nickname's the Sawed-Off Savage. She's pretty durable. She's going to be constantly going for takedowns. She's a grappler. But I'm not quite sure if she's going to take down a 6-0 undefeated prospect, Josefine Knutsson, who's probably pissed off at Dana White because she didn't get the contract. And she's a sizable favorite here, and rightfully so. She doesn't have the reach advantage, but she should be able to close that gap and make good work inside that clinch. And I wouldn't be surprised if she can find a knockout here. She should be pretty fired up after not getting that contract. Josefine Knutsson's definitely the play. And another thing to note too, she's training at the All-Stars gym with Volkan Ozdemir. And she's been putting in work since that Dana White Contender Series win that she didn't get the contract in. I expect her to come out here and look very good, get the win against a short notice opponent who should not be inside the UFC, because after the Dana White Contender Series, she beat a 7-7 opponent by a decision. Like, there's no fucking way she's winning this fight here. And next up, we got a pretty easy fight to predict here. Charlie Campbell and Alex Reyes. Reyes is the brother of Dominic Reyes, so right away, you know, probably not the best chin. And he got knocked out to Mike Perry 6 years ago in round 1. And he's suffered some injuries since, and he's been out of the game for far too long. I don't know why he's coming back. No clue why. Charlie Campbell, he won his last 4 fights by knockout. 2 of them in the first round. In the Dana White Contender Series, he lost to Chris Duncan, who's 11-1. And that was in the first round by knockout punches. And he almost had Chris Duncan out of there. It was all Charlie Campbell in that fight. He was picking apart Chris Duncan, about to get the knockout, and then Chris Duncan came back and knocked out Charlie Campbell. That was a big comeback win for Chris Duncan, and really not a bad loss at all for Charlie Campbell. I think he is going to destroy Alex Reyes. Round 1 knockout shot. There's a free pick for you guys. I'd bet him round 1 KO. Like, Alex Reyes has been out for 6 years. The competition that he's fought when he's won has been pretty low level. He has a 100% finish rate. His last wins were against a 5-4 and 3-4 opponent, like fucking very low level. I don't think he's going to win this fight. 6 years is far too long to be away. And that knockout loss to Mike Perry, where he got seriously hurt, was on September 16th. That's the same date as this fight. I think the same thing could happen. Round 1 KO, Charlie Campbell. Yeah, history's going to repeat itself. September 16th, he's going to get knocked out again. And next up, we got a close fight between Tracy Cortez, Jasmine Jasudavicius. And our Canadian Jasmine Jasudavicius is a junkyard dog. She will fight for your money, and she's plus money right now. And I was thinking about doing some reverse psychology here, going against the Canadian like I did last week in John McDessie. But in this one, I think Jasmine's quite live, and I think she's going to get it done. She looked very good against Miranda Maverick. And I know Tracy Cortez is probably a little bit better of a wrestler. And people said she's working on the striking. She is 5 years younger, should be constantly improving. But, you know, I just can't go against the Canadian in this one. I can't. I'm taking that plus money. Jasmine Jasudavicius. I think she's going to get it done here. With everything going on with Tracy Cortez, her pulling out in her last fight against Amanda Ribas due to medical issues and not talking about that, and the divorce with Brian Ortega, there's a lot going on in her life. And with all that being said, she's a low output striker if you look back at her stats. She's looking to wrestle, get takedowns, and I don't think she's going to get them against our Canadian, Jasmine Jasudavicius. So I'm taking the plus money. I'm forecasting that Jasmine's going to come out here and be a dog, get the job done by a decision. If you don't like her as a pick, just bet it over 1.5. I think that's a very safe play as well. Cortez is not going to get finished. Jasmine's not going to get finished. These two girls are not finishers. So over 1.5, over 2.5 should be safe. And next up, we got an interesting fight between Edgar Chairez and Daniel Lacerda. Lacerda's a pretty big underdog here. And he lost his last 4 fights, all by finish. This guy is just going out on a shield. And he has a 100% finish rate as well. Both these guys have a 100% finish rate. And honestly, pretty low-level competition. Like, no big names, no wins over pretty big names, but they have losses to pretty big names. Chairez just lost to Tatsuro Terra. He was very low output there. He put up 26 strikes. That's fucking low output, man. Very low output. And I can't believe he's such a big favorite here. I know it's hard to say because Lacerda's 0-4 in the UFC. He's got finished in every single fight, but he had 2 knockdowns and 2 submission attempts in his last fight. You know, I don't want to count this guy out. And Daniel Lacerda's another guy that trains at Shootbox Diego Lima with Charles Oliveira and the youngster Felipe Dos Santos. So we already know that gym produces junkyard dogs. And like I said, this is a card where I feel like the dogs are going to cash in. There's a couple junkyard dogs on this card, and back-to-back I'm going underdogs here. I like Lacerda for the pick. Outside of round 1, Edgar Chairez could take over and have success because the gas tank isn't great for Daniel Lacerda, but I got the balls and I'm going to do it. I'm going to trust my gut this week. Daniel Lacerda by finish, round 1. I can put on the tinfoil hat, but, you know, I'm not going to this week. I'm not going to do any shoey bets either. No fucking pants beers. None of that shit. And next up, we got another easy prediction, in my opinion, for me. Roman Kopylov against Josh Fremd. Josh Fremd just went the distance with Jamie Pickett. He was slow, and he didn't look very good. I don't think he's very good at all, in my opinion. I don't think he's even really UFC caliber. His biggest win was against Cedric Dumas, the street fighter from Florida. I mean, he didn't do much in that fight other than push him up against the fence and try to get takedowns. He's a pretty stiff striker, and now he's fighting a very good kickboxer, Roman Kopylov, who just got the head kick KO against Claudio Ribeiro. And I called that one out. I had KO for Kopylov. And no doubt I'm going to have a KO for Kopylov in this fight. Like, fucking Josh Fremd, in my opinion, is chinny. He got knocked out to RoboCop in round 1. And he got submitted to Trayshawn Gore in round 2. He's very finishable, in my opinion. And on the Kopylov side, he has 10 knockouts and only 1 decision win. He's never got a submission, so hopefully he doesn't get a submission here. Because I'm pretty confident Kopylov KO is going to happen. I'm not going to risk a fucking pants beer, so don't even fucking ask me in the comments. Why don't you do that? Because, you know, you never know. You never know. But pretty confident Kopylov is going to get this KO. He knocked out his last 3 opponents, 2 of them in the second round. And in my opinion, this is a step down for him. Like, he just knocked out Punahele Soriano. Soriano could knock out Josh Fremd, let's be real here. He also knocked out Claudio Ribeiro in the last one. And Claudio Ribeiro, in my opinion, would knock out Josh Fremd as well. So this is preferential treatment at its finest. Kopylov is set up to get a big knockout shot here. And there's not too much else to add than that. I don't think Josh Fremd's very good. And I think Kopylov is very good. I think he should be fighting much higher level competition in the middleweight division. And I can't wait to see who he fights next. And next up, we got the prelim headliner, Loopy Godinez and Elise Reed. This one's a banger. Just kidding. Bet over 1.5 again. This is going the distance. Loopy Godinez probably going to win this fight. Elise Reed was my former lock of the week. She's a grinder. She's tough and durable. but she has a 50% takedown defense. She can get taken down and controlled. And, she got controlled in her last fight there. She won by unanimous decision. I thought she could have lost that fight, or it should have been a split for Elise Reed. And like I just said, she was my lock of the week in that fight. I thought she was going to lose. And trust me, I've done my research on Elise Reed, and this is one where she's going to get taken down and controlled. Loopy Godinez, I know it looked like she was going to lose 2 fights ago to Cynthia Calvillo, but in my opinion, Calvillo would beat Elise Reed almost every day of the week. And Godinez just looked very good in her last fight. Her boxing looked improved. She was high volume. If she comes in here with a smart game plan, that's one thing to note. Like, Loopy Godinez doesn't have the best IQ. Time to time again, you see her making these mistakes. It's hard to bet on her, One fight she looks good, one fight she doesn't look good, one fight she's going for takedowns, one fight she wants to keep it on the feet. Both these girls, though, are very inconsistent and hard to trust. So, either side you go, both of them are very inconsistent throughout their careers. Elise Reed is 3-3 in the UFC. She's been going win-loss since she got here, and she is due for a loss. And I'm forecasting that the pattern is going to continue for Elise Reed. She's going to lose this fight. This should very easily be Loopy Godinez by a decision. And if you haven't yet, smash that like button, suplex the subscribe button, and we're giving away $500. We just hit 500 subscribers, and we have a giveaway bot set up right now. And it's closing Saturday, September 16th at 5:30 Eastern Time. So you got 5 more days to enter. Only 17 entries so far. So your chances are very good to win $500. All what you got to do is join Discord for absolutely free. If you don't have Discord, it's probably worth it. Because 1 in 17 chances to win $500. I mean, that sounds like pretty good chances. And I'm honestly debating getting a Discord set up for my mom, too. So maybe I can win it. Just kidding. I'm going to let a forecaster win it. So jump in fucking Discord. Let's keep her going here with the main card. And first up, we got Fernando, Padilla, and Kyle Nelson. And this is going to be a banger fight. Fernando Padilla is super aggressive. He's always looking for a fight. And Kyle Nelson is gritty. He's powerful and tough as well. But in my opinion, I think Fernando Padilla is going to be more accurate. He's going to be quicker. He's 5 years younger. He should have the better cardio as well. And it's Mexican Independence Day. I think some Mexicans will win, so this should be one here. I'll go reverse psychology on my Canadian Kyle Nelson, who's going to be relying on his power and durability here. I don't think his power is going to cut it. He beat a 6-3, 10-9, submitted a 3-7 and 4-1. He's not going to get the finish here. And 7 out of 9 finishes are in round 1 for Kyle Nelson. His UFC run is 2-4-1. Not great, man. Knocked out to Billy Q and Diego Ferreira. And then he lost the decision to Jai Herbert, who was a very lanky, long striker, just like Fernando Padilla. But Jai Herbert's not as aggressive. That's one thing, too. And Padilla's very accurate, high volume. This is a pretty easy pick, in my opinion. The Sharps are going to be all over Padilla in this one. I don't know if it's going to be a finish or not. Kyle Nelson's tough. I don't think my Canadians get finished too easily. And this is a fight here where I can see it going the distance and Padilla winning it 30-27 unanimous. Like I said, super high volume, super accurate. He's going to be the better striker by far in this fight. And he's a brown belt in BJJ. So the finish is very live for Padilla. He has 13 out of 15 wins by finish. He has 2 decision wins. And all 4 losses for this guy are by a decision. So the Canadian could come in here as an underdog, get it done by a decision, but I'm telling you, he has no finishing ability. He's not going to finish Padilla. Earlier on the card, I took Jasmine Jasudavicius and said I wasn't going to do reverse psychology on the Canadian, but in this fight, I have to. I'm calling reverse psychology. Let's go against the Canadian. I don't think he's going to win this fight, and the odds are going to be stacked against him. And next up, we got another Mexican favorite, Daniel Zellhuber against Christos Giagos. And Giagos looked good in his last fight, but his opponent didn't look very good. And I don't know how much credit we can hold over that victory for Giagos. He won in the first round, knockout punch cold. His striking looked very good. He was high output. He pushes forward. And that's really what it's going to take against Daniel Zellhuber, who has a pretty bad loss to Trey Ogden in his UFC debut. Zellhuber has a big reach advantage, and he's tall for the division, but he's pretty low output, and that loss with Trey Ogden sits terribly with me. He does have a 91% takedown defense, but for some reason I can see Giagos getting takedowns here and making Zellhuber not strike, just be very gun shy, just like we've seen against Trey Ogden, man. I don't think we can trust Zellhuber. I don't think he's this big prospect that the UFC is trying to hype him up to be. Yeah, he looked good against Lando Venata, but Venata is old. Giagos has some big losses to Charles Oliveira and Gilbert Burns by a submission. And he also got knocked out to Josh Emmett in the third round. So those are not bad losses to have. He has far more experience. He's 20-10. I know the record doesn't look great. He's going to be an underdog here, obviously, but I think he's going to cash in. He's a junkyard dog. Like I mentioned, there's a couple of them on this card. And I might look stupid taking some of them. I might, but I might look pretty smart as well. I think Christos Giagos will put up a hell of a fight against Daniel Zellhuber. I think people are sleeping on Giagos. I think he's like a gatekeeper for this division. He has some pretty good wins. Damir Hadzovic, Carlton Minus, beat them by a decision. So I will be forecasting a decision win here for the underdog, but the finish is live. His boxing has looked good recently, and he constantly pushes forward, which is going to be a problem for Zellhuber. He seems not to like it when guys make it a dirty fight, and I think Giagos is going to make this a very dirty fight and get that job done. And next up, we got another big Mexican favorite, Raul Rosas Jr. against Terrence Mitchell. And this is a fight where I'm not going against the big favorite. He's a huge favorite. And he's only 18 years old, still very, very young. But he's been getting work in at the UFC PI, and he has 5 out of 6 wins in round 1. He is relentless with the takedowns. And I can almost guarantee you he's going to get takedowns against Terrence Mitchell, who has a terrible takedown defense. I feel like this one's going to be a wrap in round 1. This is a spot where it's preferential treatment. Raul Rosas Jr. should come in here and smoke Terrence Mitchell. Round 1 submission. You just seen a youngster, Cameron Simone, go in there, get the knockout shot round 1. Terrence Mitchell doesn't look good on the feet. He doesn't look good on the ground. He does have 8 knockouts, 6 submissions, but they're all against low-level opponents that work on the fishing boats in Alaska. Like, just looking at the records of his last wins, they were 1-1, 4-2, 6-3, 0-1, 1-4. Horrible, horrible competition. They're just fishermen. That's what I'm saying. Like, just fishermen off the boat, coming in off the boat to fight this guy and getting fucking slept. I think he should be on the Alaskan regional scene, and I expect that's where he's going to be sent back to after he gets submitted here and strangled by Raul Rosas Jr., who should be a very good prospect in the future for the UFC. And I can just bet the whole country of Mexico is supporting this guy too. He's 18 years old, and not going to lie, the kid is legit. And next up, we got a close fight between Kevin Holland and Jack Della Maddalena. And I seriously just realized my odds are not correct for my slides that I'm going through, so I'm going to have to fix that after the show. But Kevin Holland, he's been around the block. He's been in the UFC for a while. He's very active as well. Jack Della Maddalena, in his last fight, he gave everyone a scare. Basil Hassev is 8-4 and fucking took him down 3 times at 7 minutes control time. And now he gets put up against Kevin Holland, a guy who fought at 185. Didn't have success, but he's moved back down to 170 where he has had success. And he's looked very good. Crisp, clean striker, accurate. And he can get takedowns as well. So if he gets takedowns on Jack Della Maddalena, just like a 8-4 Basil Hafez, like whoever has money on Jack Della Maddalena better be fucking worried, because Kevin Holland can strangle him once the fight gets to the ground. He can find the ground and pound. And I'm going to pull up Betway just to see what the odds are on this one. I'm kind of interested. I know Kevin Holland was a slight underdog. I just want to see how much the lines have been growing over the past couple of days here, because I'm definitely going Kevin Holland. I'm just kind of debating if he's going to be a lock of the week or not. So I advise you to join our Discord. And if you're in Discord, stay alert, because I'm going to post my lock and dog of the week after this show, after I get the video edited and posted here. Kevin Holland is a potential lock of the week, looking at the odds here right now. Like, I'm pretty confident he's going to beat Jack Della Maddalena, who's 5-0 in the UFC and has been given some pretty easy matchups in my opinion. Finally now, he gets to fight a tough test in Kevin fucking Holland. I believe Holland's going to get her done here, and he's 210 right now, so he's growing slightly as an underdog. That very well would be a good lock of the week for me at plus money. I won my last 3 locks of the week. 2 of them are plus money. I'm looking for an underdog lock this week since I'm picking a couple underdogs on this card. I believe a few of them are going to hit, if not all of them. If not all of them, that's the goal, right? But pretty confident in Kevin Holland. How can he not be? His last fight, he got the job done in round 1, looked phenomenal, got the Bravo choke. His last submission as well was by a Bravo choke, so I could see another Bravo choke. And Jack Della Maddalena, if he gets taken down like he did against Basil Hafez, and if he gets controlled for that long, he is not going to last 15 minutes with Kevin Holland. Kevin Holland is a BJJ black belt. That's one thing people forget about. He likely can strangle Jack Della Maddalena. And on the feet, he's crisp and clean too. He's going to be the much better striker. He's going to have a lot of volume as well. If it goes the distance, the play is Kevin Holland all day long. He's 210. Let's make him my lock of the week right fucking now. I'm pretty fucking confident he's going to win this. And that's going to be 3+ money lock of the weeks out of 4. Looking to go 4 in a row here. Lock of the week. Let's fucking get it. Kevin Trailblazer Holland. Fuck it. I said I wasn't going to do it. Fucking big lean over for the hat. Big lean over. The hat's on. And I said I wasn't going to give out my lock of the week on the fucking video. But I talked myself into it. And I said I wasn't going to put on the tinfoil hat. But I talked myself into it. Another plus money lock of the week for you guys. Kevin Holland. He's going to get her done against Della Maddalena, who won his last 15 fights. But in his last fight, we all seen him in deep waters against an 8-4 opponent that controlled him for 7 minutes and had 3 takedowns. Not a good look for Della Maddalena, and I'm really surprised he won that split decision. I think he deserved to lose it. So, in this fight, he's definitely getting that L. And now it's time for the main event, and this one gives me goosebumps. Alexa Grasso, Valentina Shevchenko. And a lot of people will probably take the stab at Alexa Grasso here as an underdog. And this is probably the best price you're going to get for Valentina if you're on the Valentina side. So either side is a very good bet. Grasso did win the last fight by a submission. Her striking looked improved, and she had her moments, but Valentina did have 4 to 6 takedowns and 5 minutes control time. She is one of the GOATs of the division, and that was a wake-up call for her. I think that was a fluke. A fucking fluke submission win. She made a bad mistake by going for a spinning attempt. In this fight, I expect us to see no crazy shit from Valentina. Her to be super smart. And right now at 161, that's a reasonable price for Valentina Shevchenko. I don't expect her to grow as a favorite throughout the week. I feel like people are going to be pretty back and forth on this fight, so don't go crazy making any bets on Valentina quite yet. Maybe just leave it off some parlays too. Because last time, if not all, I'm sure some of us lost some money on Valentina Shevchenko. I surely did. I surely had her in the last fight because she was a fucking minus 1,200 favorite. I'm sure a lot of you had Valentina Shevchenko. And I'm hoping you guys are still smart enough to take her again here. Rightfully, she is the GOAT. She should win this fight. She has been a very active champion as well. Just like Adesanya, she was a super active champion, and then that one fight, she just kind of took her foot off the gas. But, that really isn't the case. Valentina didn't look that great against Talia Santos, so that definitely should have been a wake-up call for her. But if it wasn't, she's gotten it because she doesn't have her belt anymore, and now she's going to have to fight for it back. I think she's going to be super smart, have high IQ in this fight, and get that belt back. She's going to be hungry. She's going to be more hungry than ever, in my opinion, because I don't think she's going to look to retire anytime soon. Alexa Grasso, she beat Vivian Araujo, Joanne Wood, Macy Barber, Ji-Yeon Kim. She just hasn't fought the level of competition. I think it was a fluke last time. She was really getting dominated against Valentina before she got that submission. It's going to take another submission in this fight to get the job done against Valentina, because she definitely isn't going to outstrike Valentina, and she doesn't have the power to knock her out. So at 161, that's pretty good value, Valentina Shevchenko, but I'm not telling you it's to go parlay her. I'm not telling you she's 100% going to win, and I'm not even saying that she's that high confidence of a pick for me, because at the start of the week, I was going to take Alexa Grasso out of spite of these underdogs winning the championship. But I'm going to stick to my guns. I'm going to go with the bullet in this one. And next up, it's time for my lock and dog of the week. I said I wasn't going to give it out. You're going to have to join Discord to get access to my lock and dog of the week this week. And you're going to have to join Discord anyways to win that $500. But here's my lock of the week to go 4 in a row. It's going to be plus money. I'm taking a few underdogs on this card. But most confidently, Kevin Holland's going to get the job done. Make sure you check out my prediction on Kevin Holland versus Della Maddalena, because I think Kevin Holland's going to win this fight. He's live for a finish. He likely can win this easily by a decision if it goes there. Della Maddalena did not look good in his last fight against an 8-4 opponent. He got taken in 3 times and controlled for 7 minutes, and if that's going to happen against Kevin Holland, it's going to be game over, or you're going to get dominated. So, lock of the week, take that plus money, Kevin Holland, to go 4 in a row, and that's going to be 3 underdogs out of 4 locks. Only 1 lock was a favorite, and it was Benoit Saint Denis, the God of War, because he was 161. That was incredible value, Benoit Saint Denis, and I risked doing a fucking pant spear on it. I was 100% he was going to win that fight, and once again, I'm going to risk it for the biscuit. I believe in Kevin Holland this week as an underdog, and I think he's going to look like a favorite once this fight gets going, and he should dominate Jack Della Maddalena. And if you haven't yet, make sure to smash that like button and suplex the subscribe button, because we just hit 500 subscribers, and I'm going to give away $500 in my Discord. The giveaway bot is already set up, and it's going to be set up until Saturday at 5:30 Eastern Time, and then one forecaster will get drawn to win $500. There's only 17 entries right now. That's insane. That's very good chances to win $500, so I expect a bunch of people to start entering the giveaway bot. Only one entry per person, so join Discord. It's absolutely free, and you also get access to my lock, my dog, my props of the week, absolutely free. I also have some free content posted out there as well, and we also have a great community going and growing as we speak. The forecasters know what's up. And if you want access to my full card prediction sheet, the platinum picks, forecast forensic, all my bets, open channels in Discord, join my Patreon. It's only $5 a month. One of the best prices in this industry. I give it a lot for only $5 a month. And make sure to stay tuned for the final prediction show on Friday night, Saturday morning. I'll have my final predictions, some final bets on there as well. The props of the week will be there. It's a post-weigh-in face-off show, so it's the final chance for us to see them face off and weigh in. And you never know, on the Friday show, I have changed my pick before, so make sure you stay tuned for the Friday show. It's always a good time. And if you're into UFC cards, I got some right here that I'm about to open this week. Maybe tomorrow I'll do a video on opening up these UFC cards, so stay tuned for that video. I really appreciate that support. Please smash that like button and suplex the subscribe button. I know we already hit the 500 subscribers, but you got until Saturday at 5:30 Eastern Time to enter the giveaway bot, and one forecaster will win the $500. I really appreciate the continued support. I will do another giveaway in the future, but for now, sit back, relax, enjoy, and let's go have another great fucking week here of picks.